Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Intraday Trade. My name is Robin, and let's do a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for tomorrow. So today, market again opened slightly gap down, but we were of the view that Nifty Bank may outperform Nifty and can also move higher. And in the Telegram channel, we had a discussion that Bank Nifty can move to 34,700, and that's where it reached and consolidated, and eventually it came down, which was a bad signal because it closed again in an area where again buyers and sellers will eventually fight and then have to decide a trend. So before we begin the analysis, let's just understand what FIs have done. So if you look at the cash market data, FIs have again sold for about 3,960 crores, wherein DIIs have bought for about 2,958 crores. So the cash selling is still happening and there is no end to it. And if we have to talk about the daily candle, Bank Nifty's candle still looks kind of okay because it's a bull candle, though it shows some selling pressure from the top. But whereas if you compare Nifty's candle, uh, it erodes the entire gain that it had in the first half, and it closed almost at the day low. So this was not a good sign from Nifty, but let's see what FIs have done in the participant wise data, and plan will make a plan for tomorrow. So if we look at the FIs data, uh, some good scenario which indicates slight positiveness. So let me tell you why slight positiveness. So the first thing is they have closed long positions, but this time they have closed short positions also, and the number is a little bigger, so which indicates some positiveness. And if we look at the overall data of the FIs, which is completely bearish, let me just show it to you. I think my option chain is running in the background. Just a moment. Yeah, now if we come to FII analysis page, and if you look at the figures, uh, yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So now the difference is reduced, and the shorts left with FIIs is about 1,34,837 against the long of 38,497. So now it's time to book shorts. Okay, so they cannot carry so much of shorts in the system for a long time. They would definitely book it, and while they are booking it, obviously the market can go up, and then we may see some indecisiveness for 2-3 days, and then they'll further continue the trend whether it's up or down. But right now we know that their positions are definitely in profit, so it's time for them to book. uh, so let's discuss based on that. Okay, so back to the FI analysis, and if we look at call option, not a great position here. But if we look at put options, they have carried some put longs, but the numbers are not that significant. So maybe they just have been expecting some kind of a gap down because we have a lot of issues globally, especially the Dow Jones and Nasdaq falling every day. So that could be one of the reason. But since it's not a huge quantity, tomorrow, even if the market opens gap up, they'll easily manage it. And next thing, if we look at pros, they are also long in put, but not a significant quantity, and literally no positions in call. So both FIIs and pros do not have a significant position in call, and that is also reflecting in the client section, because obviously when there is no much trading that happened in the call, so there is no point that either retailers would have sold the call options or bought the call options. There is nothing like that. So in the end, what happened in the last half an hour is both in Nifty and Bank Nifty, the put writers who were active in the first half, they did not show the confidence during the end of the market, and they started booking their positions. And if we compare the put call ratio of Nifty and Bank Nifty, so in Nifty a lot of put writers exited their positions and call writers are still present, and in Bank Nifty I can see both of them exiting. So people are not confident in Bank Nifty to hold either call short or put short, is what we can see. So that means we still have some indecisiveness in the market. But if we catch a trend, maybe on the upside or downside, definitely we'll see some very good movement. So now let's go back to the chart and understand what we could plan. So on the whole, if we have to summarize this, we can say that both of them have put longs. That means they're expecting gap down, and all that we have to keep in mind is FIIs can plan to book their shorts. Okay, so when will they book their shorts? So the first basic thing to understand is the formation of lower lows. So if you see in the daily chart, let's go back to the charts. Okay, so if you look at the chart, so Nifty, this is Nifty. So we have a low here, and today this low is not breached. And similarly in Bank Nifty, yeah, so in Bank Nifty also we have a low here, and that is not breached. So this itself is a confirmation that FIs will be a little confused here. So what can happen is, tomorrow again, if we do not break today's low, then there are high chances that they'll start booking the profit, because each and every day, if the low is broken, obviously, even if you or me, if we hold a put option, we'll still sit in the market, getting entertained and getting highest profits. But when you suddenly start seeing that on a daily chart, the low is not getting breached anymore, so is when we'll think of, oh, let's not take risk and let's kind of book this profit, so that it doesn't get reduced. So that's what they might be thinking as well. So in case, if tomorrow, if both Nifty or Bank Nifty, if it opens gap down and if it doesn't break the low, there are high chances that they may cover some more shorts from the future. So all that we have to do is, if they do not break the low, our intention would be to go long in the index, especially in Bank Nifty. Okay, but we'll definitely keep an eye on Nifty, because Nifty's closing is not that great. It closed somewhere close to 16,240, and I told you that if it starts trading below 16,200, so 16,220 is a important level. If it starts trading below that or below 16,200, then we may have to exit from Bank Nifty also if we are long, because that may create issues to Bank Nifty too. So let's get back to the smaller time frame and discuss how we should be trading tomorrow. Okay, let me activate the lines. Okay, so these are the levels that we have in the chart. This may look a little untidy because this is something which I was following during the day, and see, all the levels were very important. It breached this level, it took support and then formed a double top kind of pattern and came down. And it was also the Bank Nifty was following this particular trend line, which it breached during the last candle, but that's okay. Tomorrow, in case if they gap up, they may try to go sideways or try to be consistent with this trend line. So whatever it is, we'll discuss. So now the important levels are Bank Nifty below this level, so below 34,400. If Bank Nifty starts trading below 34,400, then that's a problem. Okay, because what happens is, if it starts trading below 34,400, the next level is definitely 34,000, and we have the low very close by. Okay, so this is the low that we are talking about. This is the main thing, but they'll be vigilant once today's low is breached. Okay, so once today's low is breached, obviously they'll not do anything. Rather, they'll start selling calls or start buying puts so that the market can fall and they can have good profits in their future shorts. But if this low is not broken tomorrow also, then there are high chances they'll start covering their positions. So this low is going to be important. But what we'll do is, in case if we see Bank Nifty trading below 34,400, we're definitely going to buy a put, and our first target would be somewhere close to 34, say 34,100. Okay, so we'll buy a put below 34,400, and our first target is going to be 34,100, and then we'll see if it starts trading below this level, then obviously we'll see some more pressure coming in. Since they do not have significant positions in the options, they'll definitely try to create it because we have expiry coming on the next day. So how are we going to trade? So in case if Bank Nifty opens flat and if it starts going higher, okay, so that is a good sign. But the only problem is we have a strong red candle at this point from 34,700. So we are not going to buy a call option here because tomorrow it's Wednesday. Wednesdays are usually volatile, and a lot of people do option selling to gain the option premium or the decay that happens. So what we'll do is, in case if it starts going higher, we'll sit and relax, and we want Bank Nifty to spend time like this, okay, in a small range. If it starts spending time like this, then definitely we can buy a call option at the breakout. Sometimes I enter a little early, looking at the volume setup that I have already posted a video, because that gives a very good entry somewhere at this point with a small SL. Okay, so because sometimes what happens, the breakout is so huge or it's so strong that we may miss the entry. So during that time, I definitely depend on the volume setup. Okay, so this is something which we are looking forward to, and once we break 34,700, 750 range with a strong green candle, we can definitely expect Bank Nifty to move up to 35,000, and eventually it may even test 35,200 where we have a gap at that place. Okay, and in case if we open flat and if we start trading below 34,400, definitely a put we can buy for a target of 34,100. Now let's talk about gap up or gap down. So a gap up, nothing, that is again a good sign that it will not breach this particular low, and we can expect FIs to book more future shorts. So if market opens gap up and immediately it sustains, it just gives a dip, and if it trades higher uh, within this range, I think put sell would be recommended. But otherwise, if we see that it breaks this level with the consolidation, definitely a call buy is the best option here. And in case of a gap down, then there is nothing much to do. We'll just wait for a small up move, and we'll eventually buy a put option here. The first target can be around 34,100, and then we can see that if it crosses this low, then obviously there is a huge fall coming in. So if this happens, definitely I'll update the target levels during that time. But I'm expecting some positive move from Bank Nifty tomorrow. But all that depends on how Dow Jones and Nasdaq perform today. Let's discuss Nifty also. So Nifty is in a danger zone. With the chart itself, you'll come to know, because what Nifty did is it closed below the day low. So this is what we are expecting in Bank Nifty. If this happens, then FIs will stay with the shorts, but this is not the case in Nifty. Nifty has already breached that level. So 16,226 was an important level. So below that, Nifty is definitely not that strong. But in just in case, we'll just keep this low marked. So let's see what is that particular range. This happens to be 16250. So just in case if Nifty opens gap up above 16250 and we see that it is forming a small W kind of a pattern or a double bottom in a smaller time frame, maybe in 5 minutes or 3 minutes, anything like that, we can definitely take a risk. But this risk will take in Bank Nifty rather than Nifty. And because Nifty, since we have strong candles here, it may consolidate here, but this can be helpful to Bank Nifty to move higher. Okay, so if it opens flat or gap down, then definitely we are going to buy a put option in Nifty, and we can expect a fall until 16,000, which is just about a 200 points fall, which is, I think, more than enough in Nifty. So gap up and sustaining the gap up, we are definitely going to buy a call in Bank Nifty and not in Nifty. And in case of put, both can be okay. So this is my analysis for Nifty and Bank Nifty. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I've, while doing this analysis, I've shared some important points like how and when they can book their profits. Keep this in mind, so this can be helpful in the next time. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.